saying cut the music. It's too much.
Can you hear me?
I told him to cut the music in the beginning. So I'm not on here? Where's my screen?
Yeah, I'm going to flip you.
Oh.
You can always... Dual view if you'd like.
Ooh, there's an auditor. So hold on, I got to go to another channel here and see what's going on.
What do you mean?
Auditors of America are on.
Okay, but let's figure out, can you guys hear us? Can you guys hear everything? Everything good? Ba-da-ba-ba. Give me a 1 if you can hear everything. Perfect. Thanks, David. All right, well, welcome to the Rowdy Podcast. So today, specifically, I want to kind of touch base with you guys on just some overall beliefs, kind of my thoughts and where the show is heading, and I'm pretty excited about it. But we are going to go from here. So we're also going to go over an Auditing of America thing that came up, so we're going to show you guys that video. Let me fix this picture, it sucks. So we're going to go over a couple things with that, and then we'll go from there. So first, let's get started. Jason, you got anything, any updates, anything crazy? I mean, is everything... what's popping?
So, I caught another cop not using his turn signal.
Okay.
Yeah, that's,
Closer to the mic, too.
Sorry, I gotta... Rowdy likes it when I talk like this.
That's not true. That's so awkward.
So, hold on, let me jump back in here so I can see. Okay, so we got a bunch of ones. We're going to be taking off with my channel, doing some new things. I'm going to be out in the field. Nothing popped off down at the Capitol.
When you were down there, yeah.
That's good. Although we just did get a memo in.
Yeah, we're going to go over that too.
No, I don't think we actually talked about this because I forgot to tell you because you were all anxious before we started.
Never. I'm never anxious. I'm never ready to go.
So, there's a FBI just put out, there's credible threats, but not specific credible threats for groups that are possibly going to be, coming at civil unrest. Although I did talk with a lot of the troopers down there, and they did ask me several, what do I think is going to happen during the
I hope you didn't answer that.
Trial.
Because if you're right, then you're fucked.
Well, during the trial.
Well,
so,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't know why I was going to ask that.
Well,
so that's about all I got for right now.
With all that being said, so let's get into it. So here's the deal. I know I've got only a couple people on right now, but that's okay. Let's get to the meat and potatoes of it all. All right, so here's the deal with the Rowdy Podcast. I'm fed up, and so I'm just going to be really real with you guys on what I think is really going on, and I think everyone's being duped, and I think everyone's falling for it, and this is how it pertains to our community. So here's the deal. Here's how I see things right now, and it's just my opinion, okay? You can take it for whatever you'd like to. We can always get into different things. You guys can tell me what topics you want to talk about or whatever, but essentially my thing is this. Everyone is distracted with Joe Biden and with politicians acting stupid and with Donald Trump and with this and that, and the reality is that all we're doing is screwing ourselves. Our First Amendment rights are going to continuously be cut, and the control is going to continue to grow into big tech, into corporations, into all kinds of other things, and it's because we're not acknowledging one specific thing. And while a lot of us in the auditing community are even trying to make changes within the current physical world, hold on, I know it sounds crazy, but...
Hold on.
Slow down.
Hold on.
Okay.
The news is always... I believe everything I hear on TV and the internet.
CNN told me that you're racist, so you're welcome. Hey, Rooster. Check it out later. We'll leave it up. So here's the thing. So when I say the physical world, I want you to understand that I personally am just going to call it what it is. Okay? We have the way that we're coming to you guys right now.
No, my camera's not on, just so you know.
Okay. Well, I can switch it to that.
I mean, I'm just... Hi, world.
That's very true. But we'll have to figure that out. So, hey, Calico, what's up? So back to what I was saying. Basically, here's why we're in a problem, and it's all kind of coming to a head at the same time. when you look at big tech making the moves that they're making, which everybody's like different conspiracy theories all over the place, when you look at politicians making the moves that they're making, and you go from some of the different plays or plans that have taken place over years. We're not talking short term, and anyone can say like, oh well, you can't see it, but it's just not true. Okay, he's saying both mics sound fuzzy. Let me see if I can fix that.
So I just want to let everyone know too that Rowdy made me buy a mic, headset, and everything today. And he's got tons of new
How's that
equipment.
sound? Is that better?
So we're trying to really work hard on this audio. I got a little bit of background static.
Okay. Let me turn it down a little bit.
Let me try.
Okay, what about that?
Move my mic. Is that better?
Hold on, you say something again?
Alright. How's mine?
Closer to the mic.
How's mine?
That's better if you're closer.
Okay, so you want me to talk like this?
No, you can talk loud, you just can't.
Oh, okay.
I can't have this volume up too high, or it starts to get staticky. Alright, well let me know if that sounds a little bit better. Hopefully it sounds better. Otherwise it's the connection, and we'll have to figure it out. But I'll hit record so that we're recording this as well. Okay, so anyways, let's get through the thoughts. So basically, what I think is that the only community that's going to be able to make a difference right now, the only community that's going to be able to make a change, the only community that can see the big picture, is going to be the auditing community. The reason I say that is because there are massive, massive changes all happening at once. Okay, so let me give you some examples. We literally have a bear and bull fight taking place in the stock market because of things like Reddit. And there's a lot of stuff that people are seeing kind of take place in really extreme manners. And though it's kind of scary, it's actually kind of exciting too, in a certain aspect, I think. Jason, I don't know if you feel that way, but I think it's kind of All right, I don't know, guys. I'm trying to work it out. Let me see if I can add P4 into that one. All right, can you guys hear us now?
What I should do is be like that hand. I should learn sign language, so when Rowdy's talking, I can sit there and do sign language.
Yeah, this is kind of weird, though, I think. I feel like it's really weird. All right, so I've added the P4 thing. So here's the thing, guys. So most of you guys don't know, but I have this little box here. So now I have a mixer for microphones. So we're all plugged into the same system. So Jason is plugged into the same system. Oh, there they all go. Okay, cool.
All right, so we're good. You guys can hear me? Oh, sweet. Thank you so much. This is awesome. Whatever you did, Rowdy, don't touch anything.
I'm not going to touch it.
Don't touch it. Can you split screen our cameras?
Yep. I got to fix my camera, though.
Okay.
But yeah, I can. Yeah, so, I mean, sorry, guys. I know this is kind of maybe frustrating for you guys to always be like, why does Rowdy suck at audio and stuff? I wasn't born for this. I just happened to, whatever. Anyways, let's go back to what we were talking about. All clear. Good, good. Brian, thank you. Andrew, thank you. EC, Annie, David, and anyone else. Andrew, Pakawi, thank you. Calicu, I appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much. Thanks, David. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Here's the deal. Here's what I think. This is just the nuts and bolts of it. The only group that is okay. My mic is cracking now. Maybe let's go down a little bit. No, that's not it. Okay, I don't know where I have to figure that out. I'll try and stay away from it. So anyways, here's the deal. And I'm going to cut this all up and I'll edit it so it looks better for those that aren't watching. But they also won't get the fun comments or anything else. So here's the deal. The only group that's going to be able to make changes to any of this stuff is going to be the auditing community. The reason being because we can see the big picture. We understand that there needs to be changes made, and we understand that those changes are going to take place where the fight is actually happening. Now, Joe Biden, President Biden, has said that we need to end this uncivil war. Here's the thing. Just because he says he wants to end it doesn't mean it's going to end. Just because you want your constitutional rights respected doesn't mean they're going to. We've seen that how many times? I mean, it's just how it is. And so this group who gets that we have to put in hard work, this group that realizes that it's going to be about having the conversations, about paying attention, and about thinking big and explaining that to other people. That's what it's going to be about. And it's going to be about bad boys,
Just figure I'd bring this in here.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm surprising Rowdy with all this, by the way.
Deathwish Coffee, that's what's up. Yeah, so anyways, Jason and I were talking about this. So just understand that basically I'm doing a really shitty job of explaining to you what we're about to talk about. This is my terrible thoughts, or opening thoughts. But basically, we're going to talk about the National Terrorism Advisory System Bulletin that was put out by DHS. We are going to talk about a couple of other things. We're going to talk about this Auditing America thing. Lackluster just covered it recently. I also want to show you guys a cool new channel that's coming up. We'll do that at the end, and this is going to be a commercial for them for free just because I'm super pumped about what they're doing. And so that's the Activism News Network. We're going to touch on that and why I think it's important that you all get on board with it now and keep sharing that stuff and keep talking about that stuff. So we're going to get crazy with it. And this is how it's going to be, guys. This is how this show is going to be. I'm done playing games. Sometimes we're going to swear. Sometimes we're going to talk about stuff that you might be offended about. But I will always give you the opportunity to come on the show and have a conversation with us. If you want to come on the show and ask Jason a question or myself a question, if you disagree with me, please come on the show. You can always reach out to us at therowdypodcast.com. Just click submissions. You can go ahead and drop it there. You can send me an email at rowdy@therowdypodcast.com. Jason can throw that into the link, I think, or into the chat as well.
Yeah. Or people reach out to me too at
Yeah.
minnesota.news.now@gmail.com. I know people reach out to me to get in touch with Rowdy, so between the two of us, we work really well together. We're both. Rowdy's really busy with trying to get technical stuff working out here, and I'm covering everything else around the state.
It's not happening.
Just saying.
Well, again, I think a big part of this all is just that we have to pay attention. So, anyways, let's get started with the bulletin stuff. So the news freaked out. If anyone's been paying attention, there's a couple things that are going on that are just freaking people out. So, number one, they're freaking out about having the National Guard in I guess in D.C. still, and I can understand why that is. But here's the thing. Let's start with just the basic stuff. Here's the stuff that's going to affect you if you're into constitutional auditing, if you're an auditor, if you care about the auditing community, which, God, I hope you do if you're watching this, or you're just a hater, which, thanks, I appreciate it. I'm not monetizing this, but if you want to sign up for Patreon, I'll take your money. Anyways, so this is the stuff that's going to affect you guys. So this is what they put out, and here's why it gets super dangerous for us when America gets fearful. And if we remember, after 9/11, we had what? The Patriot Act. And that kind of fucks us, and you'll see why later. But here we go. So the summary of the bulletin says, the Acting Secretary of Homeland Security has issued a National Terrorism Advisory System, or NTAS, bulletin due to a heightened threat environment across the United States, which DHS believes will persist in the weeks following the successful presidential inauguration. Information suggests that some ideologically motivated violent extremists with objections to the exercise of governmental authority and presidential transition, as well as other perceived grievances fueled by false narratives, could continue to mobilize to incite or commit violence. Let me address something, and we'll both say it. I'm not about violence.
Not at all. I did a live stream on my way over here and talking about this too. And then the other thing too, Rowdy actually has this up on his Twitter. So both of us just started Twitter. So Rowdy, what is...
Oh yeah, so mine's at the Rowdy Podcast on Twitter. So follow us on Twitter. Lackluster's on Twitter. I know Minnesota News Now is on Twitter. Audit the Audit's on Twitter. ASD Docs is on Twitter. Johnny 5-0 is on Twitter. Find us in all these different locations. The reason that's important is because if I go down here on YouTube, or Jason goes down on YouTube, or Facebook, or whatever else, you guys have the opportunity to be able to find us and be able to contact us. Also, go to our websites, because we're going to start launching websites. I think Jason will get to that this year at some point. But I'm going to start rolling out some different stuff, like a blog that I want to talk about, just different things a little bit more in depth, and give you some links and different things to kind of fact check what I'm saying, because you should always question what I'm saying too. Well, and then also, if you have a situation where people are hating you or doxing you on one platform, you can cut it, but go to a different one too. So just think about those things. What were you going to say, Jason?
Oh, I wanted to bring up too is what Rowdy just read is actually on his Twitter feed, so you can actually see the document.
Yep,
and
I
read
do
it
have
for
the links.
yourself, so.
I did put the links out there. You put it out on your Twitter as well.
I believe I shared yours. So let me see if I can get actually the
links. And I agree with Calico here. He just said not about violence. We're about intelligent, constructive communication. I couldn't agree more, Calico. That is spot on, my man. Yeah. So anyway, so I did put this on our Twitter feed, but you can check that out there at the Rowdy Podcast on Twitter. But here's some more details, okay? And this is where it gets important, and I highlighted some of these, okay? What the news is wanting to tell you is this is all about, Republicans or conservatives. And what the right is telling you about is, well, why isn't the media talking about all the other stuff that's happened, the riots that, Jason and myself and others have seen. And the reality is because it's not what's selling. They don't even report on this DHS bulletin correctly. I mean, if you were going to be honest about stuff, at least you'd report on it correctly. But what they're going to do is they're going to use this to take our constitutional rights. And I mean both sides, so don't get it twisted. I'm not just talking about Fox News, and I'm not just talking about CNN. I'm talking about everyone who's not going to wake the hell up. The reason that we're still on, and we're still streaming, and we're still trying to figure out all this stupid stuff is because somebody has to tell y'all to wake the hell up. We're in a bad spot. When I started auditing because I saw the government come crashing down, and they were enforcing things that politicians were just wanting and making up, whether it applied to the Constitution or not, by using police. They were enforcing things by using the police. That's why I was scared. I mean, that's why we go out and we do audits, right? So now I can't audit anymore because bulletins like this are going to be used, especially with people who have special operations backgrounds like myself, and are activists, outspoken, can mobilize people quickly. I mean, I built a following of 60,000 people doing auditing, but now I'm worried that somebody's going to come knock at my door and take me to jail without giving me my constitutional rights respect. So I'm sick of it. So I'm done, and I'm not going to be quiet anymore. And you shouldn't either. And I will work on making this the best fucking podcast that you've ever heard. We're going to have auditors on here from First and Second Amendment. I can't wait to have Tim Harper on here as well, Second Amendment activist, and he just beat a huge case. I mean, a kick-ass huge case for constitutional rights. And on top of that, what Tim has been doing within the constitutional carry movement, laws being passed in Oklahoma has been amazing. So we're going to have him on the show. I've got a contact, a general that you guys heard from about a week and some change ago. He's going to touch base with us occasionally. And we're going to ask him serious questions. He's retired now, so we can say, hey man, should we be worried about this? And he can give us an honest answer. And so I'm excited about that. I just spoke with a ranger buddy who is on a TV show I'm sure a lot of you know, Mayans MC. He's going to jump on the podcast and have some real conversations with us. I'm super excited about that. But we're going to talk about how the Constitution is getting screwed and who's screwing us, who's screwing us, which is the media, politicians, and big tech. And so I'm going to use their platform, and I'm going to play their game. I'm going to make this fun. For you, for me, for the auditors, for the auditing community, for activists who actually want to see things change, we're going to have some fun. And we're going to play the game the right way. We're going to do all kinds of different things. We're going to support good causes. We're going to talk about the Activism News Network and why you need to download Roku or whatever it is you got to do to be able to watch it. And I recommend that even if you're taking a shower, throw that shit on. Get them boosted. We've got no time. It's over.
Well, and the good thing about us going on different platforms like this, and I say us, everyone in the group, it's crucially important because we have, right now we're relying on platforms that we know they censor. At any point in time, they'll censor it, we're gone, we disappear. We've watched it, and we've seen it, and we know about it, and this is why we need to stick together. We need to come out with more things like Activism News Network. We need to get on as many platforms. I mean, even mainstream media is talking about censoring other mainstream media platforms they don't agree with. This is a scary time. I've talked to, I've reached out to sheriff's departments. I've talked to Rowdy about it. I've talked to sheriffs.
Well, hold on one second here. So, Andrew, are you asking, is there somebody we can have on the show that has a high security clearance? Because first off, I can't get into too much detail, but the host of the show has a decent security clearance. I can tell you that.
So, Rowdy wants to brag about himself. Go ahead, Rowdy.
No, I'm just saying.
What's your security level?
I'm not going to get into that.
You can't say?
I'm not going to get into any of that. But I could just say that I'm all right. I did all right for myself when I was in.
Well, what does a ranger have for security level?
I'm not going to get into that either.
You can't say what that is?
I just don't feel like it because I don't know if that's OPSEC or not. But
okay.
So, Andrew, all I can tell you is that the odds of you getting... There's a lot of cool, badass people out there that have higher security clearances than me, but they're like, I don't know if we'll get them on the show, but it's not too many people. No, that's not true. Okay, so let's go through this bulletin a little bit more. So let's get into, the details of the summary. Now, this is important. Pay attention to this, okay? Throughout 2020, domestic violent extremists, or DVEs, targeted individuals with opposing views engaged in First Amendment protected nonviolent protest activities. DVEs motivated by a range of issues, including anger over COVID-19 restrictions, the 2020 election results, and police use of force, have plotted and, on occasion, carried out attacks against government facilities. Long-standing racial and ethnic tension, including Operation opposition to immigration has driven DVE attacks, which this one we haven't heard too much about, so I'm kind of curious what they're talking about. The opposition to immigration has driven basically domestic violent extremists. I haven't seen too much of that, but I don't know if they're trying to incorporate Proud Boys into that kind of narrative or what.
Well, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to group anyone with any sort of political stance into this, so, or any motivation.
Yeah, but that's how they're going to screw us.
That's exactly how they're, so if you're, and I touched base on this on my live stream earlier today, you're a First Amendment auditor, you're a terrorist.
Not for real, though.
I'm saying what the memo's trying to say. You're a terrorist. If you speak bad about the government, like immigration, if you say, hey, I don't support illegal immigration, I support legal, like coming here the right way, going through the right steps, I support that. I don't support the ones that are not doing it the right way, you're a terrorist. If you believe in like the 3%ers, you're a terrorist. If you believe in the COVID-19. If you're anti-COVID-19, or you don't think a mask works because you have your
well, if you're even the type of person that wants to hear opposing view, but here's what sucks about the media. And I'm just going to go into this little. I wasn't going to go into this yet, but I'll do it now. Why not? I'm not monetizing this, so it's okay. No, this is not conspiracy theory, I think, and I'm going to do it over time. But I'm going to prove to you what I think to be going on. And of course, at the end of the day, none of us are ever going to 100% know for a fact, because we can't get into other people's heads. So I'm just going to do what I think, or say what I think, and I'm going to show some facts that support that. But overall, I think all these things, I'm just looking at Andrew's comment here. They're trying to outright undermine the Constitution, in my opinion. Yeah, okay, so 100% right. They are trying to undermine the Constitution, but look at what's happening, okay? Let's go way back. Okay, let's go way back. Let's go back to when I would be in shackles and I'd be working some cotton farm. Okay, let's go that far back.
When I owned you?
Correct.
Okay.
Or what you're supposedly responsible for. Okay?
Right.
So let's go back to that.
Because I'm on your show, to clarify this. I'm on your show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
not the other way around.
No. But back then, if there was podcasts.
That's true. It would be my podcast.
I'd be in your seat.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't.
No, I would actually have just, yeah. Anyways.
You would have cleaned the room.
So... yeah, you can use your real name. It doesn't matter anymore. They've got everything they need on you.
And David, I've talked to David too.
Ryan's right too. He said those people used to be called Americans.
Right.
That's
weird
how that works.
We used to be called Americans too.
Yeah. Well, we still are, and we're not going to change that. So here's my thoughts. I'll give you the short version of what I think happened. Okay. Long term, they saw Abraham Lincoln, who wanted to change something, and he wanted to make it about the change in the rights of people, which I think we all agree about, and everyone talks about how great of a president he was, unless you're some of the weirdos that were trying to tear down his statue because you don't know history. But anyways, I digress.
Well, I mean, there's a lot of history behind everyone, and there's things that people do that are good, and people do that are bad. I mean,
but I'm just saying, in terms of what most people don't realize is that was the first big political play. Now, it had good merit. It made sense. There was good reason for it.
True.
But it was the first time that they used the press, that they used political maneuvers and plays and a demographic to then basically get their way, and that was caused by and used by force, which, by the way, I don't care who says what, if you don't realize that every single law doesn't mean shit without force behind it, then you're an idiot, click off the page, go somewhere else, because you will not understand anything else in the auditing community. So they used force, and no shit, a civil war, to basically win their point, okay? Fast forward. Democrats took notes. And I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't something as simple as a notebook that got handed around or through generation to generation or Congress to Congress for each side. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And they just passed the secrets on, which is, hey guys, we realized that they wanted to free, but they made the choice of states' rights versus the federal government. They made that about a demographic, and the South's argument was about states' rights to decide who gets to have slaves and who doesn't, and the federal government's point was, no, the Constitution applies to everyone equally, and so we're going to start working on that. That's the basics of it, right? Well, the Democrats figured that out, and they added it to their playbook, and it took them a really long time to do so, okay? And it took them a lot of different plays and moves and trial by fire and error. But by the time we got to Ronald Reagan, I mean, even if you go back to like Jim Crow laws and those kind of things, the giant change that they say that conservatives made or racists made into the Conservative Party, that never actually happened. Only 2 senators changed from the South to the Republican Party, and those 2 were already kind of upset. But anyways, I digress.
But I also want to talk about, that's a different Republican Party than what we have today.
Very true.
So,
very true. I'll get to that in a second.
It's very confusing.
I'll get to that in 1 second. But and we got Jeremiah Daigle here. What's up, man? There's another Ranger buddy of mine. So so here's the deal. From there, they used that, right? And they basically said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We figured out that the Jim Crow thing was kind of our last attempt at keeping black people underfoot. It didn't work. And so they said, okay, we got to change everything. Here's how we got to do it. We got to basically figure out how to get black people to want to vote for us. And we got to help the minorities because that tugs at the heartstrings of Americans. And Americans want to do the right thing by nature. So what do? They figured it out, and then they invested in big tech. And right now, that what most people do not know is that big tech is the new world. Big tech is the new world. That's it. And it was created. It was self-created. We ran out of land to discover. So now we're using technology. We're discovering the new world as we go. And as one of my favorite teachers in the world has explained, Joel, he said that we're building the plane as we go when it comes to educating our youth in COVID. Well, we're doing the same thing when it comes to the internet. The way that I'm coming to you right now, there is nobody's ever sat down and said, okay, we are going to take and interpret the Constitution of the United States of America, the government, and we're going to replicate that in a digital form or format or whatever. And we're going to ensure that every single American who accesses the internet has the same inalienable rights. Same inalienable rights. Okay, so I think if anyone opposes my opinions, my views, that's okay. I think that's important. I want to hear your opposing viewpoints, your opposing opinions. I want to understand and know what you think. And I want to know why, but I want you to understand that at the end of the day, my whole entire goal, and what a lot of people out there who are getting vocal now are saying is, we want everyone to have the equal right and respect of the Constitution. That's it.
Well, and I think too, that's one of the big things that we talk about, at least I talk to people about too, is the scary situation our federal government is in right now. It doesn't matter which political side that you're on, it matters that we have a one-party controlled federal government right now. So that means there are no opposing viewpoints, there are no one to speak out right now because it's all one-party control and they'll all vote down their party lines without question, without doing anything. I'm just following orders.
Well, and let me ask you a question on that, actually, Jason. So it is a one-party controlled system right now?
Right now,
okay,
yes.
Fine. And that's great.
Minus the Supreme Courts, but the Supreme Court's very iffy in the weakest form.
Hey, Seahill. Hey, Brandon. And let's see. I missed this comment here. Thanks for your... Awesome. Thanks, Lakeway. Okay, so what I was saying was, in that one-party controlled system, so a lot of people talk about like, okay, well, politics is different than First Amendment auditing. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's false. That's a false statement. Politics is what dictates why we have to audit in the first place. The media is why we have to audit in the first place. Do you think that politics and the media didn't have a role in getting cops' egos as big as they are? Did you think that the politicians telling them, no, you can go enforce this, I'll make sure that you're good. I'll make sure that you don't have any problems. In fact, we won't even let the civilians critique you because you're enforcing our rules. Of course the system doesn't work. The Founding Fathers built in some stop losses, right? Some fail-safes. We're not using them. We're not doing them. And so now I'm moving past audits and I'm saying, let's wake up, let's work together, let's make this movement something big. And so we'll do that. But go read this memo. Go to dhs.gov. I've also posted it on Twitter. I know that Minnesota News Now, Jason's already posted the link several times in the comments. Check it out. Go to his Twitter. We're going to play this video here real quick. And then from there, we will...
well, before you
go ahead. Sorry.
So, and we all seen this with the Trump-Hillary election. Even mainstream came out and said, hey, we've done everything we could have done to promote Hillary. There's no reason she should have lost. Okay, well that's not the job of media to promote a candidate. So you can really see their bias right there when they're talking about that. In fact,
And same with Fox.
well, same with Fox. I mean, either one. I'm just using as an example. Is media's job is not to promote anything. Media's job is to report facts, not a narrative or an agenda. And we can see this.
I'll say if you have an opinion, it's okay, but just say that you have an opinion.
Right. When I'm live streaming, I'll respond to the chat. I'll talk to people about my opinion of what I see. But that's why it's important to have different. It's why it's important to have me and Rowdy out there doing two different audits of the same thing.
Oh, I can't anymore, but
you could. You don't want to.
Well, I mean, I could, and I want to. I just don't want to go to prison and never get a chance to even defend myself.
You.
I don't think I'd get those rights.
Never mind.
Yeah. And the other thing I'll say too is there's so many things that Republicans do that suck. There are so many things that Democrats do that suck. There are things that even libertarians do that suck. There are things that everyone does that just sucks. It's just stupid. But the reality is, anyone who's telling you, don't look there, don't talk about this, don't say that, don't question me on this, that's right where you should be looking. Pay attention. Question me. Shit, I'm not always right.
Yes, question both of us at things that we put out. And the difference between Rowdy and I, we have a lot of discussions off camera, which we've talked about actually just doing behind the scenes and putting up on either Patreon or the members' side so people can see these things.
Yeah, don't forget to become a member.
We have a lot. Don't forget to buy Rowdy's merch. I don't have any yet, but when I get some, I'll have Rowdy promote my merch.
You should be supporting these kick-ass phone cases.
But having this dialogue that we have, everyone comes from different backgrounds, and Rowdy and I have traveled different states. We've lived in different areas. We can truly speak from seeing this, and it's very important to have dialogue. And Rowdy and I don't always agree.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you're wrong.
I'm never wrong, but okay. Again.
Calico, thank you for joining.
Yes, thank you. It's very important to have the dialogue, and even when I was in front of the steps of our Capitol, there was 4 of us standing there and having a dialogue, and none of us actually agreed 100% on everything. Mm-hmm. But that was the most important thing that I ever had. Is that dialogue, because that's where it should be happening. We should be able to talk amongst ourselves and share different opposing viewpoints so we can learn and research.
So another thing I'm going to say too. So by the way, I'm going to tell you guys a story of the penguin. Okay, just so everybody. I want people to start to get to know me for who I am and what I do, and I'm just going to be me, and I'm just going to love the shit out of it because fuck you. I don't really give a shit if you like it. It's America.
America.
So this penguin here, and
that's Rowdy's penguin.
This is my penguin. I fucking love penguins. Okay, I want you to understand that. I don't give a shit. Yeah, I used to jump out of airplanes, fast jump out of helicopters, and shoot bad guys in the face. But penguins are badass. Okay. And so my buddy's son was doing some welding. He was learning welding, and he made me this penguin because, of course, they found out that I love penguins because they wiggle and they move. So he made it out of a spring. So it's really cool. And so thank you, Dylan. I appreciate it. And shout out to my buddy Smokey. And his wife, the Bandit. Okay, here we go. So.
Can I get their autographs? I love their movie.
Which one?
The series.
Smokey and the Bandit?
Yeah.
Okay. There's a different story for that. But
okay. Yeah.
It's none of your fucking business. No, I'm kidding.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
All right, so I'm going to play this video because I don't want to get too carried away. And I think you guys maybe figured it out, but I can talk a lot. So here we go. Let's play this video from Auditing America. I know Lackluster did this. Go check out both channels. Go give Auditing America and not Auditing America. What is it? We're gonna put in the link in the description.
Yeah, the link will be in the description. I'll put it in here in a second.
Okay. Let's go to that video right now, and we'll go from there.
License plate, Dog God M138, same dude. All right. I hope the comments are on this time. It said I allowed chat, so. Now the comments are there. Sorry about that. I don't know why the comments wouldn't turn on the first time. I just had dude ride back by me and take a picture of me. There goes that other snitch right there. So they're definitely aware that I'm here now. I can't believe dude had the nerve to tell me chat was turned to kid mode. How in the hell did it do that? Y'all share this everywhere. Get as many people in here as possible. Because I have a feeling this might go bad. Even before I turned the camera on, before I went live, I had people telling me I wasn't allowed to do this. As y'all can see, there's the telephone pole right here. Come on, y'all, smash that like button. 18 in here, 7 likes. That's not acceptable. Come on. Turning blue. What's up, Nashville? Glad I'm getting some more Nashville people up in here. This right here is gate 1. I think I see a cop, y'all. Yep, here they come. Here they come down here, y'all. Make sure I'm back behind this telephone pole here. Y'all see him right there? I know it gets a little blurry when I zoom in. Yep. Come on, y'all, share this everywhere now.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much.
I'm wondering why you're recording. Is there a reason? Is everything okay?
Yeah, I'm just a journalist gathering content.
You just trying to what?
I'm a journalist gathering content.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask you what content you're gathering?
I can't reveal any part of this story. It's about Fort Campbell Army Base.
Okay. I mean, you're not doing anything illegal. I know. Got a few calls just saying you were out here recording.
Yeah, a couple people told me I wasn't allowed to do it, and You know, I was like, well, I'm standing on public property. I'm not doing nothing illegal.
I mean, yeah, you're right. As long as you're not being the flow of traffic, you're not stepping out the road, you're not doing anything like that.
Yeah, no.
I mean, if you go on to gate, if you go on to post, that's a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not going on there.
But like I said, we're just kind of wondering exactly what's going on. Just make sure everything's
Yeah, it's just I'm gathering content. That's it.
I understand why you're out here. I've seen all the videos, I've seen them all before. I understand, like, you can record from Clarksville's boundaries, but our boundary cuts off at MAPCO, so you're not allowed to be recorded.
Actually, these telephone poles right here were put in by the city, so that right here is city property. Therefore, it's public property.
Alright, so listen. I'm gonna do what I was told to do. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, like, I'm not gonna go back and forth with you. You know, you're gonna post me later. So I'm gonna
You're live, actually.
I'm live. So I'm gonna do what I was told to do.
Which is?
Put you in handcuffs and detain you until we have more information. That's for my safety and your safety, okay?
Why am I being put in handcuffs?
It's just, you're not being arrested. It's none of that. We're just detaining you. It's only until
You're detaining me for standing on public property and getting video.
Alright. I'm just doing what I'm told by my supervisor, okay? I'm not trying to, like, overstep or anything, but I have to do what I'm told by my supervisor.
Okay, well, I'm not going in handcuffs because I haven't done anything illegal.
I'm not saying you did, and I'm not arresting you. It's just for my
You don't have to put me in handcuffs to detain me. I ain't a threat to y'all. There are four of y'all.
Okay, so can I pat you down with weapons?
Yeah, go ahead. I got a pocket knife right here in my side.
Alright, so I'm gonna pat you down.
Okay.
You turn towards them.
Where's your backpack?
It's in my right pocket.
Okay, cool.
About me?
So it's right here. So
That's the pocket knife. Stuck into my pocket.
Just out of curiosity, thing you have looked right here. Just out of curiosity.
Body camera.
Oh, interesting.
okay, as long as you don't reach for it, we're good.
I'm not going to reach for anything.
My supervisor.
I'm not here to hurt nobody. I'm not.
My supervisors want me to put you in handcuffs, but I pat you down. I think we're safe. We can just talk, okay?
Okay.
So I won't put you in handcuffs. So as far as I was told, boundary cuts off over at MAPCO, okay? And CamReg 190-1 says that you can't record while on post. I understand that once you're in Clarksville, you can record anything from the public's view. I understand that. But as far as I was told, again, I need to do what I'm told.
The GSA survey said it was here. That actually the wall is where y'all's property began. I looked up the GS surveys before I came and done this. Because these posts are put in by the city. Therefore, it's city property that I'm lined up right with. I haven't been up there. I'm not planning on going up there.
Alright, so my supervisor's on his way. I don't want to come off as rude or anything. I'm just doing what I'm told, so
Okay.
he'll just come over, explain everything to you, and we'll go from there.
Well, I mean, like, if y'all are threatening to arrest me if I don't move, then I will move. But
I'm not threatening to arrest you. I'm not here to, like,
you're gonna have to speak up.
I'm not threatening to arrest you.
Okay.
We're just trying to figure out where the boundary is. As far as I was told, the boundary is MAPCO. So I'm just doing my job. I'm not trying to sit here with back and forth. I'm just trying to do my job. I was told the boundary is MAPCO, so I came out here to let you know. If you want to move over to MAPCO, go ahead and do that. And then you can.
Well, if I stand over there at LabCo, then I have all the traffic inside of my camera shots and everything. I can't get any good pictures of the gates.
Okay.
So, I mean,
So I'll let him.
Hey, how you doing, man? I'm investigator for Cameron's Police Investigations. What's going on here today?
I'm just gathering content for a story I'm doing.
Okay, so unfortunately this is federal property, okay, in a military installation. According to Cam Reg 19-1, you're not allowed to be filming on the installation, especially gate operations while on the property.
I'm just getting pictures of the
I understand. I do. But like I said,
Well, I mean, the actual law is if you can see it, you can record it. You can't trespass the eyes.
correct. So right now, you're on our property.
I'm on city property. These codes were put in by the city. They were put in by y'all.
No, this property is our property. Okay.
Your property.
Correct. This is government property here.
Government property is public
federal
property.
This is no. This is military installation. This is federal property. So just because
Then y'all need to put up signs to better.
I understand.
Instead of
just
this.
because this wall is there, doesn't necessarily mean that up to the grass of the road isn't our property. Right?
So what happens if I don't move over there?
Then we will charge you.
Charge me with
Violation of Cam Reg 19-1.
which would be what?
It's a physical security violation.
It's a what?
A physical security violation. Like I said, it's a Cam Reg.
So I'd be arrested.
Correct. You'd be charged.
So if I don't move, you're gonna arrest me.
Right. So, like I said,
Well, under the threat of arrest, I'll go to the other side of the street.
we'll have to process.
But you will be hearing from my attorney. What was your name again?
Do you have that on video right now?
Yes, I do.
So unfortunately, you can't video us either.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Unfortunately, like I said, you can't be videoing this. So if you could just stop the recording.
I'm not gonna stop it.
Okay, I understand you don't want to, but like I said, it's a little bit different. The laws are once you step onto our property. Does that make sense?
By the GSA surveys, they said that the property line was actually up that way a little further, past these posts. Well, then y'all need to update the GSA surveys.
We don't have, not required to do that, sir. Like I said, we're giving you the opportunity here to get rid of this footage. Okay? Because the physical security violation under Cam Reg 19-1, which says you can't be recording military operations.
I wasn't even recording much. I've been recording this the whole time now.
Right.
I mean, as soon as I got here, I wasn't here 2 minutes and y'all showed up.
Right. So it's just kind of for us, from a military perspective of people filming. Okay, like I said, I mean, if you're on the other side of the street, no problem. All day, man. All day you want, man.
I'm going to the other side of the street. Under the threat of arrest, I'm going to the other side of the street.
Like I said, we will charge you violation of Cam Reg 19-1.
If I don't, go to the other side of the street.
You would be because you're filming on an installation.
I'm going to the other side of the street right now.
Okay, like I said, if you can stop that video, man, that would be better, and we can get that shit deleted.
I'm not deleting the video.
Alright, so go ahead and just pause it. Stop. Like I said, I already told you, you can't be filming on this property.
Okay, I'll stop the video.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah. So you stopped it. Okay, you got video on the.
Wow. Just fucking wow. Alright, so I wrote down some notes here, and I've also pulled up their little Cam Reg 190-1, and I'll be looking at that while Jason's speaking in a minute. But I wanted to just cut over a couple of things here real quick that I think are really important to pull up. Oh, wow. Okay, let's start with this. Boundaries. Okay, number one. And if you want more information on this, then I would highly recommend that you go check out Audit the Audit's videos and his channel. He discusses a lot about public forums versus non-public forums, and the fact that essentially when you go to court, they're essentially going to look at where you're at and is it an acceptable place or a reasonably acceptable place for you to conduct what would be considered, you know, a protest. Okay, so if you're going against what the government feels is comfortable, but it is 100% constitutionally protected and legal, then it is essentially considered a protest. So the first gal comes up, the MP, right? I'm not talking about the cops. Cops were actually pretty good. They should have actually told the MPs to fuck off, but that's a different topic. First lady comes up, the first MP, she says she's just doing what she's told, not trying to overstep. Okay, now she took an oath just like I did, just like firefighters like you did, Jason,
Yeah.
just like police and law enforcement do, to uphold the Constitution, both foreign and domestic. And it says no sound now? What? So can you guys hear me? Is that...
Alright, can you guys hear me? I actually wasn't talking. I was letting Rowdy talk for a few minutes.
we were just chatting. So a big thing, one of you can hear me, but a big thing about this is she's just doing what she's told, guys. She's just doing what she's told.
I think I've heard that somewhere before. I think there was like this huge, like...
I don't know what that is. That was horrible.
Okay. So I believe I've heard that before. I was doing what I was told. And I don't think they got off with that as an excuse.
Yeah, it's weird actually. So let's go back though. Okay, so she takes an oath. Okay, that she's going to serve, protect, and defend the Constitution from both enemies, foreign and domestic. Okay. That's it. That's it. That's all. That's it.
That's confusing to some people.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. Do the right thing. That's it. She says, "Can I pat you down for weapons? You're an MP, and we're actually not even sure if I'm in your jurisdiction." That is the big confusion here.
Well, I'm gonna
Sure.
pause you real quick. I'm pretty sure that military police don't have authority unless it's a military function off of.
No, that's not necessarily true. But what is true is that where they were at, it's going to be from the, legally speaking, they're on public property. Okay, light posts, all those different things. And I haven't looked at the GIS survey yet. I will. I'm going to comb through this 190-1, the CAM regulation that they were all citing. But it's first off, it's disgusting because overall, saying things like, I'm not trying to overstep, but then later saying, can I pat you down for weapons? You're an MP. We're not even sure if this is your jurisdiction or if I'm on your property. That's the big question at hand, and now you want to ask me if I can pat you down? No. Do you suspect that I'm carrying weapons? Remember, Terry Frisk still applies. It doesn't matter if she's an MP or not. It doesn't change anything. He's on public property. This isn't a negotiation, and this is what I'm sick of having, is a negotiation. So from now on, we're not having them. Stop having negotiations. Okay? Controlled access. Next thing he didn't point out. They were saying, you can move over there and you can film, but you got to turn it off if you're going to stand here. I'd have told him, you can take me to jail. I've done it before. You guys have seen it. Take me to jail. You think you're right? Okay. I think I'm right? Okay. We'll let the judge sort it out. We'll let a jury figure it out. That's fine.
Well, I think a lot of this, too, when you get into auctioning, you have to be able to take the ride. You're going to take a ride. If you're going to take a ride, you're taking the ride. You're not going to fight it. Court's not on the street. You just take the ride.
Yeah, and here's the thing. So the controlled access point. We actually went on an audit not too long ago before I actually gave up auditing. It was the beginning of January, right? Or no, it was December maybe.
Where?
When we went to the video, we met it was in December because we met the undersheriff and everything that day. And that guy that was telling us,
courthouse,
yeah,
the law enforcement center, Ramsey County.
Yeah, but the building that we went to before that, where the guy said you can't film in there and you can't even put your camera in there, that crazy deputy. Remember the sergeant came over. She really.
Oh yeah, that was at the Human Services building.
Correct, and they were saying you can't film, and so I explained to them that there's a controlled access point. They had a sign up. They had an access. It said clearly like you can't film beyond this point. Right. Beyond means that I cannot walk past there and film.
But you can film through the open window.
Correct, because you can't trespass the eye. So I would have said to them, hey, where's your controlled access? You have no controlled access. You have no signage. You have nothing. I don't even give a shit if I'm on your property because it's public property. Government owned is public owned. The government is we the people. I'll give you another example real quick. Another example of this is when people say, I can't believe you guys film post offices. Do you still want to say that after the election?
Or after two of them burnt down in Minneapolis that we lost? I mean, there's
well, no, but I'm talking about if you're going to say, why do you film the post office? Yeah, they're government employees, but it's a self-sustaining business, which we also know that's false. But the reason I film post offices is because they're federal employees, and we somehow are going to trust them with stuff. I don't want to get into the whole election debate. Regardless, you should want continuity within your federal government in terms of understanding the Constitution, our rights, etc. So, that's important. So this has been an hour, so I'm going to end it here because we're kind of going long. But we will be back next Tuesday or Thursday. I'll post it on Twitter. Talk with Jason. We'll figure it out and we'll go from there. Thanks, guys. I'm going to have some more guests on next week, and I'm super excited about that. And some of them will be larger guests, and we're just going to kind of pack the show up, and we're going to talk about important stuff.
We still got a few people here. You want to go a little bit longer, just finish this one out?
Oh, this is done.
Okay.
What else you got? Oh!
Well, you were making tons of notes, man.
Yeah, well, that's true. The stop recording and deleting part pissed me off. Again, I wouldn't have done that. I get why he did it. I understand. And I'm not knocking auditors for America. I'm not knocking him by any means because he had a choice right there. But
well, there was a second follow-up to this that he went live on, so he does have it on body cam, his body cam, and the three, I think it was Clarksville PD responded to it.
Mm-hmm.
They also had their body cams running the whole time, and they said they actually put him in handcuffs, patted him down again, and basically continued with the threat: if any of this footage makes it to the airwave, he will be cited and they will arrest him or summons him to court for posting any video online.
Which you can't do.
Double down on weight loss by doubling up on the partner plan.
I know that they want to say that they can do it. They can't.
Together, you're unstoppable. Weight loss is easy.
We can't lie to them, and Rowdy has a couple commercials he wants to air quick.
No, well, I want to air that Activism News Network
Okay.
as we take off for the day because I think that that's going to be important.
But the thing that I have an issue with this is, where do you go from here? I mean, there were so many things. I watched that video live, and I had such a hard time not driving down, just packing up and driving down there right as this was happening. It crushed me to go, that's our military, not honoring their oath. I'm just doing what I'm told. And if you watch that MP officer, and I talked to Rowdy about this, MPs deal with armed, trained military every day, and she was so nervous to walk up to a person standing there videoing. Like, I mean, are you really scared of a camera that bad? A person standing out next to a road videotaping?
Well, hold on a second. We had to have 25,000 troops in D.C., and we still have 5,000 there now.
Well, I thought it was 30.
Oh, I've heard tons of different numbers.
And they're sleeping on the ground, and they locked them in a garage with one power outlet and one bathroom. And it just...
I thought it was great.
That's what we're using our military for now. But look at how nervous she was. I mean, she's out there armed. They're, like he pointed out on the video, there's 4 of them.
Yeah, but they don't.
It just blows my mind. Like, if you're that scared to do your job, the thing is I think in the back of her mind, she knew she was wrong.
That's why she kept apologizing.
And it was a guilty conscience, right? I mean, we know that when we went through training for communications, verbal judo, interrogation.
Yeah, but the reality is that she had an option.
She did, but this kind of goes into some things I've talked to officers and deputies and troopers about, is where we're at today puts them in a real crappy position, right? It puts them in a position where they have to choose, honor my oath or...
Sorry, go ahead.
So where do you go from there, right? Do you obey your order, or do you disobey a directive because you're following your oath? I mean, I personally, I've done it before. I've gotten rode up because I followed what was right, not what I was told.
Yeah, I'm going to set this up here real quick and we'll get started on this. Let's see.
Read the law. It's right there in your hand.
Alright, go ahead and talk, Jason.
But yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm gonna play this real quick so Rowdy doesn't even know I'm gonna do this, so see if he gets mad at me.
Well, it's not what you know, it's what you can prove in court.
That's true.
I mean, It's not what you know; it's what you can prove in court. And that's the other thing we have to keep in the back of our mind. It's not. It's what they can prove what we're doing. Like a First Amendment audit is a form of protest, so you have to meet the 3 prongs of that. So that's a good thing to know about too. You have to know so many things when you go out and audit, and not everyone knows that. But it's crucial for us to know. That's why I don't recommend people just going out on their own doing it. Doing a lot of research and understanding and learning from others, and then going out, because it's intimidating and scary. I mean, we've had that conversation with Officer Hines.
Yeah, I think the big thing is just paying attention. People have to pay attention, but they also have to be willing to take the ride. All right, I'm going to cut it here. Hi, Patricia. Thanks for jumping on. So thanks, guys, for watching, for paying attention, for hopping on here, for communicating, commenting, and being interested. And I appreciate it. And you're why we're here. So no matter how shitty things are right now, I appreciate your support, and I'm going to be here to back you. Check us out on Patreon, Twitter, all kinds of fun stuff.
Check out Rowdy's merch store.
Yeah, check out my merch store. I got sweatshirt. I got all kinds of stuff. Also, I'm wearing a Ben Cott Memorial shirt, and so you guys will hear me talk a lot more this summer about the Ben Cott Memorial Ride. But I'm a huge proponent of helping veteran nonprofits. There's another organization called Hula, Helping Our American Heroes, that I'm a huge fan of. So check them out. They're on Facebook. They've got their own website. They're a national nonprofit, and they don't take a paycheck. Nobody takes a cent. That volunteers. It's 100% volunteer. So all the money goes towards reaching vets and helping vets. That's it. So check those things out. And I'm going to adjust this while you're watching it, but we're going to switch to this Auditing America commercial here. And I really want you guys to get Roku. If you don't have Roku, get it. I'm going to be getting it myself so that I can watch Auditing America. And then they've also got some websites. We'll put that in the description after I edit this video and put it back out. So thanks, guys. God bless y'all. God bless the U.S. And keep kicking ass.
Right there in your hand.
The Activism News Network is now online.
Yeah, he's way over 100.
What's the name of your dad?
Suspect 97 needs fixating. He also has an AR-15 and a Glock.